Hello, and welcome to another T.E.S gaming discussion. I'm your host, T-Man28, and today I'm joined by El132 to discuss our predictions for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate presentation happening on Monday, June 22nd. So El, before we go into any specific predictions on who we think the character is, what is your overall excitement for this presentation?
Well, I am really excited to finally find out who this ARMS character is going to be, but I will admit, I'm not as excited as I was. Just because I kind of already know what series this fighter is from, so I already can eliminate who it's going to be and who it's going to not be. So, I mean, for that, it's kind of taking away a little bit of that hype for me. But other than that, I am pretty excited to learn who this fighter is going to be.
I agree. It does take a little bit of the hype away knowing that it's from ARMS, that it can only be one of the 15 characters. I think there's only 15 characters in the game. I could be wrong about. But yeah, I'm still excited either way. But let's go into specifics about who we think this character is. So El, who do you think are likely contenders for the ARMS fighter in Smash?
Well, based on popularity and majority vote, I feel like, for sure, Min-Min and Ajara are really good contenders. Now, I wouldn't say Twintel is a good contender, just because her popularity is huge. I mean, very huge. But, I mean, she isn't a very good character for ARMS. I mean, her hair is ARMS. It kind of feels like cheating, almost. And I don't know, her arms are kind of cool. The parasol,
What even are her arms? The parasol,
the parasol, there's an ice one, and see, I don't even remember. So, I just don't really feel like her arms really are as fun as the other arms, but this is just my opinion. So I just kind of feel like she wouldn't really be as great of a fit as Min-Min and Ajara, just based on the popularity. Now, if we were talking about movesets and who has the easiest moveset to implement in this game, I feel like Mechanica is a really good contender. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. Ew, Mechanica! I don't want Mechanica in this game. Am I saying I want Mechanica in this game? No. I am just saying her torpedo arm, her hammer arm, and her sparky arm are really good for those for down B, side B, and neutral B. And then her recovery, instead of her reaching out her extendable arm, it can be her jetpack feature. So I just feel like Min-Min, Ninjara, and Mechanica are good contenders for this ARMS fighter spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think Min-Min is most likely out of all of them. She won the ARMS Party Crash, she's super popular, and I think she would fill a great spot in the Smash roster. Ninjara, I totally agree, he got second. I feel like people underestimate him and don't think he's as popular as he actually is, even though he's the second most popular ARMS fighter. But like you said, I think Min-Min might have a little better shot. Now Mechanica, I see where you're coming from with how you think she could be implemented very easily. Do I want her? No, but I think she would be an easy way for Sakurai and his team to add a unique new ARMS fighter.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to point out, this ARMS character is going to be the face of ARMS now, really and truthfully. I mean, they will be the mascot of ARMS because, they're in a Smash game, so, so I feel like Min-Min has that better mascot look. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know. I feel like she's the best mascot out of Ninjara, Mechanica, even Twintel, or any of the others. She's even, for me, I will admit, even though he's my favorite, she's even a better mascot than Springman, not Springtron, and River Girl. So I feel like, for those reasons, she'd be the perfect ARMS fighter.
I totally agree with that. I think she would be an amazing mascot. Honestly, I love Ninjara, but he would make an awful mascot. So, Yeah, but let's move on to the characters that we think would have the best gimmicks if they incorporated them. Not who's most likely, not who we want the most, but if they brought them in, who would have the best gimmicks. So for example, I would say Bite and Bark would have a cool gimmick similar to the Ice Climbers, where there's two of them, but instead of equally relying on them, I feel like Bark would just help out, randomly throw a punch, add a little bit of damage, help with some moves, but is not essential for the character in general.
Yeah, I agree for sure, because I feel like even in the ARMS games, Bark Bark is not, you don't need to rely on him. I mean, you do all the fighting with Bite. I mean, Bark, you just have to watch out for, because he does throw that punch, and I feel like that's like the same thing in this, if they were going to implement him in the game. Now, honestly, I think he'd be one of the funnest characters in this game, just based on his gimmick. But of course, he won't be in this game in Smash because he is not a very popular character compared to Min, Injara, and those guys. I mean, like, Bite and Bark are not at all popular, so they can't possibly be in the game unless, I don't know, Sakurai just surprises us with, I don't know, someone's we didn't even think of. But just for that reason, they can't be in the game. But I do agree with you. For sure, they would not be dependable. Maybe, like, I don't know, Bark could help with his help Bite get a higher recovery, but other than that, I don't really see Bark being necessary for the duo.
Yeah, is there any other characters that you think would have a really cool gimmick in Smash? Like, maybe Ninjara and his ability to disappear might be similar to Greninja's Shadow Sneak, but instead of a move, it's like an ability?
Yeah, so instead of, like, it being on a moveset, it would just be, like, your dodge rolls and maybe, like, when you jump, when you do that, once you inputted your second jump, you just automatically disappear, and then by the time you land, you already reappeared, so you can use that to your advantage and, like, maybe throw an attack where you don't see it coming. That would be a really cool gimmick to add. If I was talking about other characters, though, I feel like Helix would be a really good character to have for his gimmick, because he just his physics are so weird and so interesting. So I feel like it would be really cool, and his arms are very interesting. He has Guardian, Ice Dragon, and Blob, so that would just be really fun to just kind of see how they would do that in this Super Smash Bros. Games, where most of the attacks that we have are very straightforward. I mean, the only thing I can think of that kind of is, like, wacky in this game is, like, how the boomerangs kind of come back, but that's expected because they're boomerangs. So most of these attacks are very straightforward, so Helix would kind of be like the Blob. I mean, like, it keeps bouncing and bouncing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making no sense at all, but I kind of feel like that would be really cool. And just before I am done with this gimmick character column, I feel like Lollipop be a really good character to have a gimmick. She, of course, will not be in this game because she is a DLC character and not a very popular one at that. So, of course, she cannot be in this game. But her gimmick, all of her arms are super fun. The fun chucks, the stamper torpedo thing, and the guard and the shield are super fun. So, like, maybe instead this could also be used for Helix. They could, for their forward aerial, it's them pushing out their shield arm, so it doesn't do any damage, it just pushes the opponent away from you so they can't attack you in the air. I feel like that would be a really cool kind of gimmicky thing. And her shield, when she just inflates, oh, that'd be kind of cool to just see. I don't know.
I totally agree. She would be an awesome pick, but like you said, she's DLC. They're very likely going to choose someone from the base roster, with the exception of maybe Max Brass, since he was in the base game as like the final boss, or if they're really lazy, Springtron.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with that. So let's move on to talk about the final Smash. So whoever the character is, the final Smash will probably be the same no matter who it is, like I said. So they could do the easy way out and just do the rush attack, which is already kind of like a power move in ARMS
it's
itself.
already a special move in ARMS.
Yeah. Or they could incorporate headlock into it and like have it drop onto their head, get 6 arms, beat the guy up, which I think would kind of be a better animation.
I honestly think Headlock is most likely just because it's, I don't know, like kind of more special, and then maybe at the very end when he's beating them all up with the 6 arms. Headlock's rush in arms is a big, he spits out this huge explosion, so maybe that can be at the end, so it gives that knockback like in kind of King K. I mean, like in King K's Final Smash, I mean, sure, you would knock someone off, you know, if you punched them with 6 arms, but I feel like a huge explosion would give even more of that knockback effect.
Yep, I totally agree. So let's move on to the stages. So do you think the stages will directly correspond to the character? So for example, if we get Min Min, do you think we'll get the Ramen Bowl? If we get Mechanica, do you think we'll get the Scrapyard? Or do you think it doesn't matter at all?
I feel like it does matter because it would be weird to see Min Min on Ribbon Girl stage or Ninjara on Master Mummy stage. It's just kind of, I feel like it has to make some sense. There are a couple stages that would work, like Springman stage and there's Helix's stage, because they're kind of generic stages, but they have to kind of correspond because it doesn't really fit that this Noodle Ramen Girl is on a pop star stage, you know. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I feel like the stages kind of have to correspond because it's kind of the whole deal about arms, right?
Yeah, I can see that. The one exception I'd say is the Sky Arena, because that's like the final boss area, which I think that'd be super cool. Personally, I would want the Ribbon Ring. That's a cool stage with rising platforms and everything, and like a disco area, so I think that'd be super cool. Is it likely? No, but I would really love it. So what other stages? Oh, so speaking of stages, do you think they would incorporate like the V-Ball or hoops into the stage at all?
No, I don't think so. Maybe the explosives though, like those bombs that can explode and do damage, or like those bombs that can explode, and instead of you being paralyzed, you have that, I don't know what the item's called, but you throw it at them and they go dizzy, like they get, like when your shield breaks, for example.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, yeah, fatigue or whatever. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they dropped like the juice from the game, so the health one and the rush one. So obviously there's no rush in Smash, but what if that, if you're playing with Final Smash meter on, what if that helped you get your Final Smash quicker? And then the health one lowers your percentage, kind of like that one item they already have where you throw it on the ground and it heals you.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a really cool addition because there's not that many stage hazards on stages that actually help you. There's a bunch of them that try to knock you off and kill you, so I feel like that would be a really good addition to this game, the game, so.
Yeah, that'd be a cool stage hazard. So I think we basically touched on most of the stuff. I don't want to get too deep into like classic mode or spirits, or else we'd be here forever. And I don't think anyone cares because we're going to get the announcement in 2 days. So before we like wrap it up, I want to ask you, do you think this Arms Fighter is an indication of what's to come for future DLC characters?
I don't really think so because it's just the one fighter. We know we're not going to get any other news in this announcement direct, so I really can't see it being a pattern. I mean, you know, I just kind of feel like it's going to be random again, like it was in the last fighter pack. Because I thought it was all going to be third parties, and then we get Byleth. So I was like, huh? You know, but I kind of feel like it might just be totally random. Like maybe not just all 4 first parties, and then the last one be a third party. Maybe it's the 2 in a row after this one are third parties, and then then it's a first party, then it's another third party. I don't know. There's just not a lot to go off of right now.
Yeah, you can't really tell by one character if the whole Fighters Passes don't be like this. I would hope it's all first party because the last Fighters Pass was kind of a disappointment for me. Because I feel like third parties are fine, but when there's so many at this point, I'm kind of getting tired of them. So this Arms Fighter is a big, like, nice, relaxed break from all those third parties. Well, and Byleth, obviously, but I don't know if he's a great first party that everyone wanted.
I don't know if anyone really wanted him except the Fire Emblem fans. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking out of opinion, but
Yeah. So now let's go. What are the 3 characters that you feel are most likely to be announced as the character in Smash on Monday?
well, I'm not gonna like really tier these because because this one popularity for sure is going to be right on the mark. His popularity and her, it's just the moveset would be just so easy for them to already kind of put in. So Ninjara and Mechanica are my 2 on that list, and then my top one would probably be Min because she is her arms super fun, her popularity huge. She won the party crash. She would just kind of and she's she's the best mascot out of all the arms fighters for me. So I feel like Min is the best contender.
Yeah, so I agree. I think Min Min's most likely out of all of them, for reasons we've already stated a bunch. And then second, I would say Ninjara. Like I said, his popularity, I think, often gets shadowed by other characters, if that makes sense. And then third, I would say Ribbon Girl. I feel like she's an easy addition, which in basic, or gimmick, an extra jump. It was super easy to incorporate into Smash, and then a basic arms fighter. So I think has a decent chance of getting in the game. And her stage is kind of going for it too. She has one of the best stages in the game. So before we completely wrap it up, if you could have any fighter in Smash, which 3 would you want the most? What if Sakurai said, I'll choose a DLC fighter, which you probably won't.
Okay, so for me, it would be for third, Lolopop, super fun, super goofy character to just kind of play around, mess around with her arms. Second, Min, I love that character, her design, perfect. She'd be great that's already for my likeliness. I just really like her design, her arms, super fun, and same thing. And then my first one, maybe this makes me a boring person, Springman. His design is really good for that basic kind of character, I feel. And I just like that basic kind of character in this game. It was super easy for me to play as him without remembering there's a certain gimmick that I have to watch out for. But of course, and I guess I could say Springtron, because they're basically the same character, one's just the robot version of Springman, so.
Yeah, actually, my 3 are actually identical to yours, except, so third for me is Lolopop 2. I think she'd be so fun to have in the game, so exciting, just a happy character. And then Min-Min's my second as well. I really want her, but my top is Ninjara. I love Ninjara. I love his design. I love his gimmick. I just really think he'd be a really cool addition to the Smash Bros. Roster. Although I don't think he would be as good of a mascot to the series as Min-Min. Yeah, so I think that's about all. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we wrap it up?
Just want to say, it's super weird how they decided to do this direct on a Monday. Or this announcement on a Monday. Usually they do it in the middle of the week, so I just kind of found that to be interesting.
Yeah, I did too. Maybe it's motivation to get people up on a Monday morning early at 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but I can't wait to see what it is, and we don't have to wait very long.
Nope.
Yeah, so I think that about covers it. So thanks for watching, and consider subscribing to T.E.S for much more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and everything else Nintendo.